Ah, shit. Once again, we accidentally hit the little red button. I just had a very enlightening evening, okay? I went and did comedy at this biker bar, right? And there were people that laughed at my set. They laughed very loudly. And I think that they laughed loudly because the stuff that I said was funny, okay? And they were really drunk. Yeah, there's no suspension in my car at all. I'm just realizing like how bouncy everything is. And I've been saying this, okay? I've been saying this, but I'm really noticing it more and more. And I'm like, okay, I really need to go to a fucking mechanic. Luckily, I have a friend of mine that I go to church with who's a mechanic, so that's good, right? That's good. Hopefully, we won't ride Fiona until the wheels fall off, literally, because I did say that. So, a lot of things are self-fulfilling prophecies, right? But, what was I talking about? Doing comedy at this biker bar. There were people that laughed, and there were other people that were just like totally like disengaged and didn't give a fuck, you know? And one of the people that enjoyed it, I ended up talking to this girl for a really, really long time. And we were just talking all kinds of conspiracies, and this chick was really cool, man. Really, really cool. And I got her phone number. And then I ended up talking to the owner of the bar and like one of the regulars, and they told me that it was terrible and that I really need to work on everything that I was doing. And I'm so glad, man. I'm so glad that I sat there through that, because that was just so enlightening. Because it really depends on who you're talking to, because some people will be like, man, that was great, you know, you did so well, like we really enjoyed that. And then other people will tell you, no, that was the worst thing I think I've ever seen. And it's good to get all kinds of different opinions, you know, but the thing is, I agree. I'm way more likely to agree with the insults than I am the compliments. And, you know, they were saying, you know, if there are people at the bar that are talking over you, you're not entertaining enough, you're not funny, you need to have more jokes to back up your political material, because, you know, if it's not funny, it's just going to piss people off. And this is coming from more conservative people, so that's interesting. And so I feel like, you know, my comedy has been the result of, you know, doing stand-up with a bunch of liberals that do make things political all the time, and it's not funny, and it's not interesting, and it's not entertaining, but that's been the case because Trump has sort of brought that to the surface, that, you know, people just wanted to be dramatic and play the victim about everything and turn everything into a soapbox, you know. And they were saying that, like, man, like this can't just be the place where you get on your soapbox. And I was like, man, that's good to hear that from like more conservative people. I don't even know if they're actually conservative. I mean, I'm assuming they're not liberals. But what I find interesting though is like, they kept saying the same thing. Like, they kept thinking that I was gonna get offended, you know? Like this dude was like, I'm just being honest with you. I'm like, dude, that's fine. Be honest. Be honest. I love honesty. Honesty is such a beautiful thing that so many people don't appreciate because they're not of God. Let's be real. They're not of God. If you don't like honesty, you are not of God. Period, point blank. I'm going to say it again. If you don't like honesty, you're not of God. You are of the devil. Not to get political here, but you know, it's true though. People that don't want truth, they work for Satan, they don't even know it. But I don't work for Satan. So, you know, tell me the truth. Tell me what you think I don't want to hear. Because that's the best thing, you know? And the thing is, they were giving me like real constructive criticism, and I love that shit. I soak it up like a sponge, baby. I really do. Constructive criticism is such an amazing thing that so many people will throw away all because they're too sensitive, you know? But you can't be too sensitive when you're doing comedy. I feel like the reason why I do comedy is because I'm sensitive in other areas. Like I look at the world, I look at society, I look at my country, and I'm like, you know, like that's how I feel. And so that's why I do comedy, because it just makes me sick to my stomach. But, you know, they're absolutely right. I need more jokes, and I need to keep pushing myself to do better, and never rest on my laurels, not for one fucking second. Because any terrible thing is an opportunity for you to twist it and make it into something better. You know, honestly, I don't know if Alex could like take this kind of criticism though, because she was mad that they were like heckling and shit. I'm like, yeah, that's what they're gonna do. Like, if they don't like it, they're gonna heckle, and that's fine. I welcome that shit. Because it can only improve what I'm doing. Like, that's what people don't understand. Like, you know, you gotta use that to inspire you. You have to use everything to inspire you. You can't just give up, and you can't get mad either. You can't get mad that people don't get it. That's why I continue to do what I'm doing on YouTube. Because what I'm doing on YouTube, it is truly authentic. And the people, my people, my little darlings, I love you. I love you so much. You know who you are, okay? You know who you are. Well, like, they appreciate everything I do, even if they don't agree with me, or even if they think that I'm off or whatever. They're still gonna listen to me. They're still gonna watch me, you know, because I'm expressing something that they can relate to. But that's different, you know, having a YouTube channel versus going up on stage in somebody else's bar, in somebody else's arena, and then asserting your political views, you know? That's a lot different. So, you know, I just have to figure it out, that's all. But, you know, I think that they were pretty impressed by the fact that I just sat there and took it. Since most people don't have the ability to do that. I can't tell you how many times I've done that in stand-up. And I'm better for it, you know, my comedy's better for it, and yeah, I had this friend of mine who's a Marxist, and he told me, like, I used some sort of slur. I don't know if it was a racial slur, but it was definitely, you know, offensive. And I told him to joke, and, you know, at first I thought he was being a fucking candy ass, but then I realized that his criticism was pretty valid. And he was like, you know, you're too good of a comic to just resort in saying certain words because it triggers people. You know, you can still write a joke like that, but you don't have to use those words to get your point across. He was absolutely right. But I like the way that he put it, which is why he's probably my favorite Marxist. He said, you know, you're too good. You're too good to just be like every other piece of shit troll on the right. It just wants to call people names and like, oh, they're getting offended again. Oh wow, I'm so creative. I'm so creative. You know, I feel like everybody is grossly uncreative because of the technology, and they see everybody else as like, you know, this carbon copy of, you know, pretty much everything. Like there's a carbon copy of everything. Carbon copy conservative, carbon copy liberal, carbon copy libertarian, carbon copy anarchist even. You know? It's like it's just all the same. That's what happens. Because I feel like there's this significant similarity between all these different political views that claim to be so different. Same thing with religion, you know? It's like everybody's fighting over the same thing. It's just like so dumb, you know? But anyway, see, I can see straight through that bullshit. But what's funny is like depending on who's listening to me, I know I've mentioned this before, but depending on who's listening to me and what point they're listening to, it's like they're gonna think I'm on the total opposite side than the one I'm actually on. But honestly, because I'm an artist that continues to evolve and grow as a person, it's like maybe I don't know what side I'm on. Maybe the one that I think I'm on isn't the right one. I don't know. But I will say, I'm all about God. I'm all about God. And I'm a Christian, but I don't really like to say that I'm a Christian because I don't like to associate with Christians because so many of them are really stupid. And I don't really think that they understand the scripture. And the reason I say that isn't because, oh, they didn't interpret it the way that I interpret it. I'm saying that because they're either trusting the authority of the church, which might not be a decent authority. And this has nothing to do with orthodoxy, okay? I'm saying this in general. This is just a general rule. Because I tend to agree with shit that my priest says, but what if he says something that's wrong? And I don't question it because he's the priest. You know what I'm saying? People either trust an authority figure or they trust themselves and they don't ask any questions. And I think it's really important to get as many different perspectives as possible, ask as many questions as possible, look into things further, and keep meditating on it. Keep, you know, talking to God. I think that personal relationship with God is the most important thing. And I think that that's the thing that falls by the wayside most of the time. So people don't have the personal relationship with God, but, you know, what, they pray certain regimented prayers every day, or they, you know, go to church every Sunday, they dress up, they do the rituals and all that shit. But if they don't have their own concept of God based off of, you know, what they're saying to him and what he's saying back, they're not looking for the signs. They're not open to receiving his message. So they're just doing whatever they're told to do, which is so lame, you know? Like, I think that's one of the main reasons I don't like to associate with religious people, because they're just so fucking lame, you know? Like, a lot of people talk shit about Muslims, but like, Muslims practice what they preach, man. They do. I mean, it might be kind of fucked up, but like at least they're not liars. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. I know it's all about money though. It's all about money and there's a lot of hypocrisy, but it just seems like they don't have this issue with like progressivism infiltrating the mosques, you know? I don't see that. Not at all. You know, correct me if I'm wrong though. If there's some fucking liberal mosque, if there's a mosque where there's like gay marriage happening, please, I would love to know about it. I would love for you to tell me all about it, okay? If there's a mosque where they're like women doing stuff that women shouldn't be allowed to do, like, you know, be men. Yeah, if that's happening, I want to know these things because I hate getting my signals crossed and lying to people, you know? I'm all about the truth, baby. So, give it to me. Lay it on me, okay? Anyway. I'm really glad that I went tonight. Like, I really kind of sort of hate my stand-up. I know a lot of people enjoy it or they think I'm really good, but it's like, no, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm still a failure, y'all. I'm not a failure, but I am a failure. I think it's important to have a multifaceted perspective.